Good morning, everybody. Figured I'd do a real quick one. I actually just posted up something the other day, and I thought it would be pretty relevant to really the situation that we keep running into. We've done a ton of listing appointments this week. Actually, there's my computer. Actually, since the new year started, it's been pretty wild. I know January for us year over year is usually pretty slow, but we've literally just been on fire, and actually almost all of our inventory that we did still have on, it's pretty much selling off. I just find it interesting because every time we go on an appointment, we hear the same things over and over and over. So why are so many agents still stuck in the 80s? I think it's a fantastic question. Now, of course, whenever we talk to people, they don't actually position it that way. But it's more along the lines of, I feel like X is happening with my property. So what are people doing? What I'm seeing, at least in our local market, you have, they may get quality photos, and that's always a plus. You absolutely should get, in my opinion, professional photos. There are some people that do their own photos, and they actually have sat down and mastered it, but we see it all the time. I actually get a text message from Kim every now and again when she finds a home that one of our clients want to go see, and you see the iPhone photos, or you see the really, really bad digital camera photos from probably like a $40 digital camera. The best ones are when they have a finger right through the lens and they still put it on the MLS. It's mind-blowing. One of the major things that changed our industry was the MLS. The MLS is one of those fantastic things. I remember when I was a kid, my father used to buy a lot of property, and we would have to go to the local broker and look through all of his inventory of what he specifically had. And if he didn't have what my dad was looking for, he had to physically go to a different broker and they would get their books. They actually had these books that they used to hand out before the internet. I don't know if you guys knew that. But each broker had their own little book, or you could give the broker a call and say, do you have something that's like this? The world changed with the MLS. The world changed because now we can actually put our information out in a digital means to where other real estate agents are able to look through the inventory that's available within that market and show their clients on the spot what they might be looking for. The other thing that changed, when you talk about syndication, so we mentioned this last night. One of our clients last night, we went on a listing appointment, and they were asking about, why do I have to use Zillow? Well, you don't. I mean, we're premier agents, and we can go ahead and fight and get it removed, especially if we don't put in the CRMLS, because Sandicor does not syndicate to Zillow. But with the way the syndications are set up is that they're actually tied into the MLS. It's a huge deal when you talk about a house and what's actually going out there. So now I put a house into an MLS, and then it's going to syndicate to these other sites that honestly a majority of the market is using. A majority of the market, if they're looking for a house, they don't call an agent right away. They're going to jump on Zillow. They're going to jump on Redfin. They're going to jump on Trulia. There's so many different things that are out there. What I find unique about the syndications is a lot of clients don't realize that syndications they're for profit. So there's other things that are going on. So we pay into Zillow and Trulia. It's done us extremely well. We're able to showcase our homes. We're able to do videos on Zillow and Trulia for our homes. We're able to do a lot of unique things to make sure our properties are put out front for our clients. But there's other unique places like Redfin. I'm not a huge fan of Redfin, but I know a lot of people are, and it works out extremely effectively for them. So the syndications are a game changer, and were a game changer when they started coming out. Zillow was a game changer. That's what I would say. And then, of course, there's like 240 plus other sites that are out there. And what I would also say, if you are for sale by owner and you're looking for sale by your own place, if you aren't doing it, go check out Postlets. It's this cool little thing, you call it Postlets, and what it does, if you put up photos of your house and your description, everything else, it will actually syndicate for you through all of these sites that I was just talking about. So the other thing, what other things are going on? Well, what's unique is that a lot of agents have caught on to the MLS, they've caught on to syndications, and they've caught on to email. Email was another great one. I'm able to send out an email blast to other buyer, agents that have buyers or their buyers' agents, and let them know that I have a property that's on the market or coming out on the market, and they can go ahead and start passing those to those people. But a lot of agents, that's where they stop. If they get fancy, they actually use a lot of old school type stuff like, we're going to put it into paper. Now here's the thing, I'm not downing the paper. I think it really just depends on your market. So example, we're in all of North County and portions of Temecula as well, as far as Kim Steele and Associates, right? In our market where we physically live, Kim and I live here in Fallbrook, California. In Fallbrook, the newspaper does extremely well here. Why? It's just a different demographic. It's an older community. They really, the overall demographic of the community doesn't really jump online and search for stuff or look for real estate agents to sell their homes. So when they see now I just said a keyword. They don't look for real estate agents online to sell their homes. The question is, do people look in the newspaper to buy their homes? I'll get to that. So when they're looking for somebody to buy their property, or to help sell their property, they're looking in the newspaper because they read the newspaper every day. If you did that in Oceanside, Vista, a few of these other places, I would definitely say Temecula, nobody's looking in the newspaper. Agents do put money into it, but I think what agents are really doing, they're not putting in that information into the newspaper to really find somebody to buy that home. Putting somebody's listing in a newspaper nowadays, it really is to make the client feel good about what has happened. Well, we're marketing your property because we put it in the local paper. But honestly, that's the odds of that actually selling the home. It's really an opportunity to farm for new sellers. Other people that are older that are looking to potentially sell their home, and they end up calling that agent because it looks good, but it's not going to sell the house. We personally, we've dabbled with the paper here and there. It's just not something we're really a fan of because I can reallocate that money to actually put our properties in front of the people that are looking to buy it. So the paper, there's still a lot of old school things that are happening. I am still a huge fan of direct mail. I did a video a little while back talking about direct mail. A lot of agents do extremely well on direct mail. The big challenge is, how do I put and expose this property to as many people as possible with our marketing and still, of course, make it cost effective. If I go out and spend $10,000 on marketing a property, but I'm only making $10,000 on selling the property, then I might as well. It's a hobby, right? It's a hobby. Yeah, we have to make a profit. I have children. I have a family and responsibilities to pay for. So it's always about maximizing and exposing and still getting that property sold. One of the things that came up in the meeting last night, well, a friend of ours said that they send out email blasts to agents all over the country. You can do that, and there are paid sites where you could jump on there and you could send out emails to agents in different areas that you don't live in. Why is that important? Again, I'll use San Diego, North County in specific. A lot of people, and also Temecula, a lot of people didn't, they weren't born here, they weren't raised here, they didn't grow up here, and they didn't buy a house here because they're staying here. A majority of the people that are here, they're actually migrating here from other places. They're migrating here from Orange County, LA. They're migrating here from New York. They're migrating from, we have a ton of people flying all the time to meet us from Chicago, the Bay Area. I mean, all over the place. These people are actually migrating here, whether that they're coming here for work, they're coming here to be closer to their kids that are in college, or they're coming here to retire. They sold their 800 square foot box that they were living in for all these years, and now they're able to basically pocket a whole bunch of cash and also live in a 3,000 square foot home on 2 acres. That's huge. It's a big game changer for them and their lifestyle. So how do you touch these people that are actually migrating into this market? You can do it over email, and you can go out and try to find those buyer's agents that potentially may know about your little town or San Diego, North County, if you're going bigger, and will pass your information to their clients. Now, I didn't talk about MLSs too in depth. I would probably do that another time, but that also has a lot to do with it. Depending on where you're marketing to, these agents are not in our MLS here in San Diego, North County. So they don't have the ability to actually search. They end up having to go on different syndication sites to find the properties along with their clients. So that's one way of doing it. The way we started doing it is a lot of agents are starting to become younger. The reason, in my opinion, and I want you to hear me out, I'm not knocking older agents. In fact, some of the best agents that I know, the number one guy in our area, he's an older guy, and he has reinvented himself, and it's so impressive, and it's exciting to see what he has done, right? But older agents that refuse to change and refuse to embrace technology, and I think that's the big one. They're refusing to embrace the technology that's available to them in order to sell homes. So they feel, if I take a photo and I put it on the MLS, we're good. There's a lot more that could be getting done. when you start talking about video content, we do a ton of video stuff. We go out, we have a guy come down, it looks just like an HGTV movie. We put it on Zillow, we put it on Trulia, we put it on YouTube, we put it on Facebook, we put it on Instagram, we put it on Snapchat. I mean, we put it on everything. We put it everywhere we can. Same with photos. And we actually go out and we target market to a lot of these different agents in these markets that are through social media. We actually go through social media heavily, and that's how we sell a ton of our houses. We get phone calls from agents just the other day from Iowa. No, Idaho. It was Idaho. They're in Idaho. And I've never been to Idaho. I could show you where it is on a map. I know they have potatoes there, but I've never been to Idaho. And this guy found us on social media, and he saw this property, and him and his clients are actually flying out to look at one of our properties in Rolling Hills. That's fantastic. So embracing social media, embracing some of these other technologies that are available to us. And I would even say some of the old school stuff of actually jumping on the phone, but with a twist. Networking. We actually communicate and talk and network with a lot of real estate agents and different real estate agent groups online in different markets. In the markets that we're actually finding people that are migrating back or forth. Especially where they're going, because as people sell here and they're going somewhere else, like in Texas, we start reaching out to a lot of Texas agents in those areas, so we can actually start lining up our clients with those people. So networking with these agents, another great example. William Wong, fantastic guy up in LA. I get a phone call from Don, who's on our team. He says, I have a client, he wants to sell his house in LA, and he wants to buy a house this weekend in Temecula. But I don't know anybody. Turns out, we do. I actually am in this networking group that I communicate with some agents, and there's this one guy that's a broker up there, and he is fantastic. In fact, I've learned a ton from him. He actually specializes in La Habra, which is where our client wants to sell. Give me a second, let me call William. Ended up calling him up, and we're lining up a deal. We're taking care of our clients. So my biggest concern right now with where the real estate community is, we get paid a lot of money. Real estate agents get paid a lot of money. Most agents, I can think of a couple that have degrees. Like Kim has a degree, I have a degree. There's a few people that have degrees. Drew, he just came on, he has a degree. But most people don't. So you're talking about making, if you're good, you're making as much money or more money than a doctor who went to school for a very long time, then interned for an extremely long time, and still has student debt. You're making as much or better. And the most that somebody's going to do is take some photos, put it on the MLS, and say, it's also on Zillow, and call it a day. I believe that that's one of the major challenges, is having real estate agents be educated enough in the future to really earn the paycheck that they're getting, and continue to work extremely hard for the clients that pay us so extremely well. I would like to see that change. I would like to see more real estate agents embrace technology and actually, do everything that we can to get those properties sold for our clients. I think it will give us a better name. I know that's one of the major things I run into all the time. A lot of people are starting to get extremely pissed off with real estate agents, and they feel like they don't earn their money. And I can't say I always blame them. If somebody shows up to your house, takes some photos, and then basically doesn't give you a call unless there's a showing, and sometimes not even then, but gives you a call when you go into escrow and you have no idea what's going on with your house for months, I think that's abusive, my opinion. I can't talk for everybody. All I can talk for is as far as Kim Steele and Associates. I would even go as far as to stretch Signature Real Estate Group, the brokerage that we're with. I really love the fact that it's ourselves and the brokerage that we're with, they're being so innovative and so creative and actually on the leading edge of a lot of stuff that's happening right now. So I guess the whole point of this video is I'm just still baffled that we're as a community, we're still so far behind where we should be when it comes to marketing and sales. And that's really at the core of it, what we're in. Even though it is somebody's house, even though we all need to communicate and be friendly with each other. At the end of the day, real estate agents are in sales. Our job, somebody comes to us and says, I have hundreds of thousands of dollars of my sweat equity and check equity tied up into this commodity, this house. I want you to sell my house. shaking their hands, giving them hugs, sending them chocolates, and taking some photos and putting on MLS, it's not enough. It's not enough. And I think as a community we need to cut it out. Our clients deserve better. They deserve a lot better. We need to really jump on board, jump on this technology train and just ride it, so we can actually help these people that come to us and get their property sold. So that's my video for today. Same thing, let's get out of the 80s, let's move forward, let's embrace it. It's 2017, let's get excited. It's January in 2017, and let's keep trying to push this. All right, everybody, thank you very much, appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon.